Tonight on EA Sports, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We'll see Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams taking on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals taking on the NFC champions, the Los Angeles Rams. Brandon Gaudin joined by my good friend Charles Davis. And Charles, it was maybe the most unlikely Super Bowl run we've seen in a long time. What a story. The Bengals had not won a playoff game since January of 1991. 4-11-1 last year, 2-14 the season before that. Bottom line, though, here they are, the AFC champs.
And Brandon, this is one of the more remarkable turnarounds in NFL history in recent years. In fact, most of the guys on this team weren't even born the last time they won a playoff game. Although, not that long ago, they had a stretch where they were in the playoffs seemingly every year, but couldn't win a playoff game. Now they've gotten that done. They're back in the Super Bowl. And remember, 2 Super Bowl appearances in their history. Number 16 and 23. Unfortunately, both times they ran into Joe Montana and the San Francisco 49ers.
Meanwhile, the LA Rams, they are back in the Super Bowl for the second time in 4 years. Remember, they lost Super Bowl 53 to the Patriots in Atlanta 13-3. But here they are trying to be the second team in 2 years after Tampa Bay last year to win the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
And we go back to that Super Bowl loss to the Patriots, and remember, they were an offensive juggernaut at that time, but only put up 3 points in that game. And they have been a little bit of a tough team to pin down over the last few years. They've had their shares of ups and downs, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but they've always had that great defense, and they're looking to ride that crew to a Super Bowl crown.
59 years of champions have come and gone. Who will claim number 60 as we're off in the 2026 Super Bowl? And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
And he's been sensational all season long, but he saved his best work for the playoffs, leading his guys to the AFC Championship a couple of weeks ago. And now he knows what lies ahead. He's going to need to play a near-perfect 4 quarters of football to get his guys to the finish line.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 31, Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Mixon with a first down carry. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Second and 6. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Rams will get their first opportunity with a football. They'll be led out by a longtime starter in the NFL, a former #1 overall pick way back in 2009. It's Matthew Stafford.
And he comes in off of a tremendous game in the NFC Championship round 2 weeks ago. This has been a team all season long that's really taken their identity from their quarterback, and he's been very vocal in days leading up to this game that he believes that this is their time, and he's going to do all he can to will them to a Super Bowl win.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field, and he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Stafford. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 7 yards, the pickup there. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield to make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll run here with Akers. It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. Yeah, this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Got a man open. It's Tyler Higbee. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On 1st down, it's Stafford. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Back to throw, Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that's all about recognition right there, because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
Gay's kick is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. So the first points of the night belong to our home team as they're able to take the opening kickoff and at least get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, and that helps the crowd, right? It helps people feel good about why they're there watching this game. They move the ball well on their opening drive.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. Brandon Wilson to return it. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Bengals drive about to get going. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. "47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense. That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Stafford. Now that'll be caught by Cup. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford, he gets this into the hands of Cup once again. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TV. What a moment for him, a pick six in the Super Bowl. You think about some of the big pick sixes over the history of this huge game. I remember, because I was watching with a lot of Colts fans, Tracy Porter picking Peyton Manning to get the Saints' first title.
Yeah, that one pretty much sealed the deal for New Orleans as well. But I got to go back a ways because, you know, unfortunately I'm considerably older. Herb Adderley, the Green Bay Packers, got it all started. The first pick six, Super Bowl II against the Oakland Raiders, and some of the better ones that were out there. You might remember Dwight Smith of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 2 in one game when they won their Super Bowl championship against Rich Gannon in Oakland. You mentioned Tracy Porter already. How about James Harrison of the Steelers? You remember that one? 100 yards right before the half ended? That was a big-time play. But for me, the absolute classic, Willie Brown in slow motion against the Vikings for the Raiders. The grand old man, Willie Brown, 75 yards.
You recall them all, and what a play here. Another pick six in the Super Bowl. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. On the return, it's Simba Webster. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now the Rams going to take over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Stafford here, coming off his pick six. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe one block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on the screen, or that could have gone for maybe 15 or 20 yards.
From the 31, Stafford, and the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. He gets it complete to Jackson. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing again is Stafford. And he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Out of the gun, Stafford. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a strong first half from our quarterback. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach. Thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. On the return, Simba Webster from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. And they trail here in the Super Bowl, but fortunately for them, Charles, very much still within striking range.
Yeah, things didn't go exactly the way they planned in the first half. To me, they appeared to be a little bit tight, made a few errors they normally wouldn't. But, of course, this is the Super Bowl, so things get a little bit heightened in that regard. But I think they have to feel a little fortunate. They're only down what they are here starting the third quarter.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. Here's Stafford. That's into the hands of Jacob Harris. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
Third quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10. Stafford looks to throw again. Again, he targets Kupp, and this time he's got it. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Yeah, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Stafford. And it's caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. 7 yards, the pickup there.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
2nd and 3, and they trail 7-3, but getting close to changing that. And this defense hoping to limit them to a field goal to preserve the lead. They'll toss this right side to Cam Akers. And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Now it's Stafford. Looking this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this 2nd half. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the 2nd half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he's got a Bengals first down as the tackle made at the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first. Here in the Super Bowl, you're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. out of the gun. It's Burrow. That is caught. It's Uzomah. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. Oh, fighting off the defender. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. On 2nd down and 4. Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. Going for it all. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there. Second and 10. Looking to pass. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Again, it's Burrow. Open man is Uzomah. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now Burrow. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal now as they look for that final dagger. On 2nd down, Mixon. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Third and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl. Throwing now is Joe Burrow. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. On the return comes Webster. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So now Stafford and the Rams down by 11, a minute 47 on the clock. They've come so far this year, but they need 2 quick scores late in this Super Bowl. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Jackson with a catch. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
On 1st and 10, Stafford looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jackson. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From just shy of midfield, Stafford going up top for Kupp. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To the air again, Stafford. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And he is going to have a Rams first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Stafford on first down. Looking underneath, he's got Akers. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Stafford. He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Bengal Nation rejoice. Cincinnati has given you the Super Bowl title. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.